All right, welcome back to Problem Solver Politics. I'm your host, Cardon Ellis, with Cody the Oracle.
Hey, everyone. How you doing?
And everybody knows Donald Trump won the general election and the 2016 meme war. He won the electoral war and the meme war. The big question is who is winning the 2020 meme war? Cody, help us out. What's going on?
Yeah, well, I mean, I have an article on screen now. You can see how Donald Trump won 2016 meme wars. Because we were talking about, on Twitter, we saw some really funny Andrew Yang memes. So the YangGang, so to speak, they definitely come out big time with the memes. You see them all over the place. I've been laughing at them with you guys for a few months. But it got us talking, and this is one thing, dude, I have to be honest. I didn't know this existed, but it does. There is... I want to pull up this correctly. Let me find it. There is actually an article on Wikipedia for the social media in the 2016 presidential election, and I believe they actually have an entry in here for the meme wars. See if we can find it together.
I mean, while you're looking at that, can I just say, you know that Dr. Hook song, the cover of the Rolling Stone, where he says, I want to be on the cover of the Rolling Stone, right?
Here we go. Sorry.
You know you've made it in rock and roll once you make it in the cover of the Rolling Stone. You know a movement has made it once it's got its own Wikipedia page. And if there is a whole entire freaking article dedicated to the 2016 meme war, that's about as legitimate as it gets.
Yeah. Well, hold on. I think like Ted Cruz's beard had a Wikipedia article.
Which was worthy of my opinion.
Anyway, though, what we thought would be kind of fun to do today with you guys is, because, I mean, seriously, like this, we joke about this stuff, but like, the amount of just free online advertisement Donald Trump got in 2016 on Facebook,
Billions.
Twitter. I mean, I do the impressions, and it's not necessarily that it goes to the Donald Trump campaign, but it's his message being spread. And so we were looking, and of the candidates running on the Democratic side, the only one I'm really super familiar with the memes on, a little bit of Marianne Williamson, but the big-time YangGang memes. But there's a cool thread throughout them, and I kind of want to show it to you guys. So we're going to flip on screen, just look through a few with you guys, laugh at them for a few minutes, and we'll kind of talk about what we notice is the kind of like prevailing theme in a lot of these. So anyway, without further ado, so this one is back during the debate fiasco, during the Let Yang Speak movement, when people were claiming that Andrew Yang's mic was censored. It's a photo. Actually, we were talking. It's a really great photo. The expression on both those guys' faces.
And he's got the pink Yang hat on.
Exactly. And that's, speaking of the threads thread, all things we're going through, that's one. So let's move on to the next one. This one is kind of more around what I was trying to talk about, where you see a man who secured the bag in 2020 permanently lost the ability to feel sad. You see the pink Yang hats. It's a reference to a news article. A lot of people were doing the same thing and just crossing out one word and lost the ability to feel sad. But you'll notice that
this is epic.
And well, you'll kind of see it more as you go, but there's generally speaking more of a sense of kind of fun and optimism. And there's not a lot of bashing and attacking in these. There's just a sense of optimism and fun. You see the pink hats. Again, I think that speaks to that kind of fun, lighthearted, it's not like the harsh crimson red MAGA hat. It's just like this very light pink
memes,
hat.
Who invented the pink hat?
Actually, it's as far as I know, there was a specific Twitter user who created the pink hat originally.
Really?
Yeah, it's actually
we got to interview that guy.
Actually believe if you look it up, what it was is the hat itself is a pink Miami Heat painter's hat. You could find on Amazon. And he took that and just grabbed another Yang logo. I don't know if he made the logo exactly, but that is your lore so far today on the pink hats. I'm trying to look up the Miami Heat right now so I could show it to you guys. But yeah, anyway, that's why the hat looks weird. Also, it is a painter's hat. That's why it has a weird design. So,
all right. Okay, keep going.
That was it. This one is kind of a personal favorite of mine. I love this show a lot. And it's the YangGang celebrates the election. Again, you see the pink hats and you see just this optimistic fun. There isn't any of this. None of this is offensive. None of this is bashing people. None of this is like mean-spirited.
Hit me with another one. Let's keep going.
A lot of this kind of really lighthearted. This is could pull your mic down on that one, dude. That is one of the. This is one of the closest ones you could say to me. But honestly,
I just pulled an old man laughing until I started hacking and wheezing.
But
Ben Shapiro.
The background to this though is interesting. Of course, Andrew Yang appeared on Ben Shapiro's show, and on Twitter, Ben Shapiro has tweeted out a lot of support for Andrew Yang throughout the campaign. Seen a lot of people on Twitter, as a matter of fact, saying like, I can't believe I see myself like agreeing with a Ben Shapiro tweets, but yeah, like he looks like Andrew has like great ideas. Hope he does well. I'm like, yeah, so do I. So, but that was funny. The
Yang Bank, of course,
Yeah. Well, the one last thing. Sorry, people who don't know. It's a reference to Ben Shapiro has a kind of a viral. Again, people use it mean-spiritedly, where he said, "Okay, this is epic," and people just make fun of him for saying that. That's the purpose of the okay, this is $1,000. Anyway, back to you.
So the $1,000 is epic. Now, of course, there's some troll out there that's going to say, "Oh, this is bad, and Andrew Yang's bad, and he's supporting anti-Semitism because Ben Shapiro's Jewish, holding the money bag. This must be a trope." You know what I'm saying? Some bonehead's going to say that.
You know what? Like, maybe not, right? So if you just don't,
it's just really funny. That's hilarious.
Well, no, but there is, like I said, these are jokes. So like any joke could potentially offend someone, right? That is 100% true. But there definitely, there seems to be, for example, this next one I'm going to throw up. It's just absurdist and goofy. But the thing is though, and this is actually a great example of what I'm trying to talk about is I know for a fact there's so many people out there who aren't like necessarily like super politically engaged, but like when someone sees this and just thinks it's funny and laughs and tweets.
Do you know what I think this is? This is deeply symbolic. Andrew Yang always says, we're not right, we're not left, but we're forward. So he's saying the right is the patriotic bald eagle. The left is the lame goat. And he's going forward. This is an obvious endorsement
I do not,
of patriotism.
Hold on. I do not endorse this meme lore. This is bad meme lore right here, guys. Don't listen to that.
Okay, keep going.
That's some bad intel meme lore. Now, okay, the next one we're going to, hold on, sorry. The next one we're going to, this was a funny one I saw today. This gets a little bit closer to being a little bit kind of mean-spirited in some way, and it's a little bit, I'll throw on
this isn't mean-spirited. This is hilarious.
But again, this is an example of the kind of larger context of what necessarily the meme war is the idea this is a format that's shared around a lot, and it's really a powerful thing when you're able to take a format like this that's shared so frequently and then co-opt that for a political message, which essentially this is a really goofy version of it, but to show how this actually impacts this is a picture that's been circling around Twitter recently. It's a picture of Andrew Yang in Portland signing someone's bong, and it's goofy, stupid stuff, but stupid's a little bit harsh. It's goofy stuff, but what I mean is you can see how some of these jokes and these memes, they really do reach out to your voters in a lot of ways.
Well, please go back. I don't think people understand the subtlety and the nuance of that first. That is hilarious.
Well,
you have to show them where they zoomed in.
There's not enough time in this podcast to break down all the the
identitarian SJWs are getting hit by the MAGA person. And then I don't think most people, when they look at that first half of the meme on the left side, realize the kid's in the first left half of the picture. And they just got him.
Yeah, there's some meme lore breakdown for you guys.
Mid bong hit.
Yeah, that is exactly what's going on. Okay. Please don't hate us, YouTube. But no, but like I said, I wanted to juxtapose that with a picture of him literally signing someone's bong that's being passed around Twitter because people are speaking pretty favorably of it for the most part, saying, "Oh, it's really cool and funny he did that." It's that this is how Trump riled up his base, man. Trump was sharing Reddit memes for I think he still does. The notion that being able to connect with society on things that have nothing to do. Speaking of, sorry, 1 second. Speaking of co-opting a meme format that gets passed around all the time and using it to spread your message, this is one a little bit too closer to mean-spirited. I don't like it that much. But again, though, the idea, if you take an image that's shared, people recognize, and you co-opt it for political messaging and spread that on the internet, dude, it is kind of crazy. And now, like I said, full disclosure, I have not done all my meme research on every candidate out there. And exactly, I do know the online presence of Andrew Yang is blowing them all out of the water. You go to any online poll, he blows it out. So,
but I reject the idea that this is mean-spirited. And to be honest with you, that's one of the biggest hits our society has taken from the left is this idea that joking about something means you're against that thing. Okay, you can joke about cultural differences without being against that culture.
Perhaps I misspoke. It's a bit taunting.
Okay, but even if it's taunting, you can't tell me that is hilarious. I mean,
it is funny.
It speaks truth. Okay, Victor Hugo said there is nothing more powerful than an idea whose time has come, and I think there is nothing more funny, than a well-timed punchline that is 100% true. I laugh at truth more than I laugh at fantasy, And the idea that the Bernie bros, I mean, I get along so well with so many Bernie people because Bernie people are frustrated with establishment, and many of them have just admitted to me that, look, I hate the establishment. I've been convinced that Republicans are crusty old men that don't have my interests in heart, and they generally live in red states where they're frustrated with Republicans already. And Bernie Sanders had a better personality. I was going to vote for the outsider, but Bernie Sanders had a better personality. And if you're personality driven, then of course Bernie is going to be the answer and an outsider. So the fact that these Bernie bros have been coaxed away by the bag is hilarious. And we noticed this, Cody. We noticed this when we went to Andrew Yang's rally at Pershing Square.
Los Angeles, yeah, correct.
1/3 of the people that we interviewed were previous Donald Trump voters.
Trump or Bernie, yeah, that was what it was.
And
Trump or
Bernie Sanders voters. Ain't nobody in there saying, except for that, there was a young, attractive woman that said I voted for Hillary, but that was it.
There was some Hillary. I think there was some people who said they supported, I don't know, some other candidates. But yes, there is definitely a huge overlap between, and I think one of the reasons why, we spoke about this a little bit earlier, I do believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Bernie Sanders lost a lot of his kind of anti-establishment clout after the whole fallout in 2016.
When he endorsed Hillary.
The way it ended, and instead of him saying, you know what, to hell with this party, not to hell with the party, but to hell with the DNC, I still believe in the Democrat, but to hell with them, and instead just saying, okay, I support you now, piss people off. And again, I love this movie, by the way, so this is one of the reasons why I'm showing this one. But also, there's something else I kind of want to bring up about, sorry, I'm trying to adjust it so you guys can see this correctly, but I want to bring up about the fact that memes like this exist, is that, and it's, if you're not familiar, this is from the movie Kingpin. Though, this is, but I'm saying is this is literally like a political base, like a voter base, young people, millennials. This person says they're still on graduating high school. But like, this is what people are saying, man. Like, I'm worried about the future, and I only see one candidate proposing to fix it, and that's Andrew Yang. Like, that's basically the message of this thing. It's getting shared, it's getting spread, and I think people underestimate. Like, every time, like, I think I liked it, I thought it was funny, but at the same time, like, this is a political message that is being shared as a joke, and the fact that no other candidate's really embracing this from the Democratic side. Like I said, Donald Trump, I don't know if people know this, like Donald, you probably do. Everyone knows anything about him. No one stops talking about him. But like, dude, there's like a Reddit, subreddit.
Oh yeah, the Donald.
But what I'm saying is memes make it from there to like his Twitter account in hours. Like he's fully realized this is how you keep your base engaged in a positive manner.
Donald Trump Jr. has a solid meme game. I can't tell you how many times my wife makes me bust up laughing.
I don't approve.
You don't approve?
No, dude, I'm not here for.
I think Donald Trump Jr.
I'm not going to argue about Donald
goes
Trump
harder.
Memes. I'm not going to argue about Donald Trump Jr. memes. No, thank you.
Okay, fine, whatever.
Anyway, though, I think we both agree this one's funny.
Storm the Federal Reserve and seize $1,000 each. They can't stop all of us.
Again, back
with the thug sunglasses on.
You see the pink hats, but dude, I don't know.
Oh, dude.
I just I see stuff like this, and it just speaks to me as like, holy cow! Imagine people who know nothing about any of this stuff, but they know about storming Area 51. And they're like, what is this $1,000 a month thing? Dude, that could be a voter. I don't know, man. Like, the more I really look at this stuff in the context of, like I said, like the meme wars, the idea of winning the internet as far as positive support for your candidate goes, I don't see any Democratic primary. I will give it up. Marianne Williamson people, YangGang, they have some funny stuff.
Okay.
There's some good stuff coming out of there. But
it's
so powerful to take something that, 3 million people like this thing. I was just talking with you earlier how, like, I see nonsense I never thought I would see on the news talking about this Area 51 storming. But now here's Andrew Yang, or not Andrew Yang, here's Andrew Yang supporters inserting his flagship policy into one of the biggest ongoing jokes in the, I don't know, man. It's very interesting to me to not see anyone else. They obviously, I'm not going to say the candidates, and this isn't necessarily Andrew Yang's doing, this is his fans. But, like, supporters and people, if you want your candidate online, that's how you, exactly, he's inspiring people. And again, to go with the message is positive. It's not making fun of people. Like, the Donald Trump stuff was a lot of negative.
And it shows he's not a crusty old guy.
Again,
boomer politics.
This gets closer to being a bit more negative, but here's another funny one.
How is that negative? It's so true. Baby boomers have screwed me.
I'm not offended by it. I'm just saying
I owe $50,000 in debt that my parents incurred.
I prefer the more not lighthearted. I prefer the more just Andrew Yang is good, not we're gonna crash through boomer politics.
No, but,
I'm better with the other.
No, look, I got to tell you,
man, they're both fine.
That speaks to me. That speaks to me because I remember in an argument, I was watching, the pundits go with this economist, and I actually verified with my financial planner back when I actually had money, if what I had seen the previous day was true, that the average American, due to irresponsible governments on behalf of Congress, owes at the time of the broadcast was $43,000 extra in taxes per citizen just to pay off the national debt and foreign debts incurred by Congress, who does not want to ramp down spending, and he told me, I actually think it's more like 50 or 60K per person of additional tax debt because he was actually calculating in other variables. So when I see the Yang card just going into boomer policies, I gotta say I find it A, funny, but also B, satisfying.
No, I hear you. I guess I'm not like offended by this stuff. I just prefer, like, for example, this is kind of more along the lines of stuff that I think is just because it speaks to the actual theme and the kind of mood of his campaign. This one I love, and this goes back to our Google Andrew Yang video. Again, similar idea. You take a popular meme format, just insert politics into that, rocket science, but it's just really funny. It's just the idea that, like, dude, because the thing I think kind of speaks more true for this than others is that there's so many people who, like, I've seen you guys say it, like, I heard about Andrew Yang, I looked into him, and then I was 100% on board when I heard he was saying. Like, it almost goes that fast. Like,
oh, no, it's the gateway drug. Yeah. Memes are the gateway drug that get you involved, and if he backs it up with policy, you're hooked.
Yeah, but I think, I'm no meme smith myself, but I do think if they took, like, I
have the app.
If they took, like, a Kamala Harris hat or something, I think it'd make it funny. Because, like, the mainstream candidates, I do think, don't let people know about this guy. He might take some of our voters. And we're going to go through. We don't want to take up too much more time. Oh, and so really... we really want to talk about here, and I hope we show it to you. I'll show one more on screen. This is a very popular film. I believe the first Captain America film. It's a scene referencing it. And again, just showing the idea that for those of you who have never seen the movie and don't understand the meme because never seen the movie, the character on the right would frequently run past the character on the left, say on your left, and he was upset the guy was running past him, and he would say that, and that's why he was saying, "Don't you say it." It's an awful explanation, but that's my 2-sentence explanation of that scene from Captain America. But yeah, again though, there's this notion that the YangGang is online really taking strides, and they're really making stuff. And we've talked about, like, it sounds so goofy, like the meme war, but, like, dude, winning the internet for your candidate as far as positive support goes, and, you know, kind of some negative support for other candidates, it's huge, dude. It really is not to be overlooked.
Well, yeah, I agree with you, and also I'm so glad that we're ending on this meme because this meme brings up an interesting observation of mine. We started out this podcast. Actually, I was gonna start out this podcast quoting the common adage that the left can't meme. And to a certain extent, I don't think they can. It's the bastion of political correctness, and political correctness is not humorous.
I think it's an unfair way of phrasing it.
Let me finish. I believe the left cannot meme. Okay? Or a very small percentage of the left can meme, can meme, which means the majority can't. Okay? And to me, that proves the bipartisan nature of the YangGang. Because the left can't meme, which means they're having to get people from the right involved, and they're having to get people that were memeing for Trump involved. And his meme game, to me, is more a testament of his generally bipartisan nature. I shouldn't say bipartisan because he has registered as a Democrat, and he does go after Trump pretty hard. But he is by far the most centrist person on that stage. While they're all arguing about who can go down and interview Mexicans fastest and who can speak more in Spanish memorized sound bites that sound horrible for us that are actually bilingual. Okay. While all of them are running to the left to do that, he's saying, oh, you know, let's cure poverty. Oh, you know, let's address climate change, but let's embrace nuclear energy instead of just using, you know, cute sound bites on CNN. And so his meme game, for lack of a better term, because it is his, if you count it as the movement.
His supporters, yeah.
Yeah, his supporters. His meme game actually, to me, is more of a testament of his more generally bipartisan and moderate stance on things than it is proof that all of a sudden the left can meme. The left can't meme. They're too busy being offended.
I would say you're 1,000% wrong, maybe 1,000,000%. I think the bigger thing we're seeing here is, and I'm not saying this to be rude, but really the lowest hanging fruit, the easiest form of comedy is to just make fun of someone. So most memes, for the most part, is just someone making fun of someone or something. And especially when it gets to politics, dude, the way people view their political opponents is terrible. So, like, when you have someone, I believe it was, Norm Macdonald, who was talking about impersonation. He said, you can't impersonate someone if you don't like them. It's just going to come across as cheap and mean-spirited.
Is that why my Beto O'Rourke impersonations suck?
No, it's like your Bernie Sanders person. Anyway, though, moving on.
My Bernie Sanders impression
please
does not suck.
Please, no. I don't know what that is. But anyway, though, the point I want to make from that, though, because we're running out of time here, the point I want to make about that is that the thing that I think separates Andrew Yang from other Democratic candidates is that, like I said, the people who are supporting him, they aren't making these weird, like, pseudo-racist, offensive, sometimes just blatantly racist memes. Because when people say the left can't meme, what they really mean is if we're going to engage in an arena where we just say mean, nasty things about each other, The side that has no problem offending is going to do better than the side that doesn't want to offend. It's what's going to happen. But
well,
there is the center. There's the third ground, which is why not have memes and jokes in a culture that isn't about bashing your opponent. This is what I'm talking about.
Well,
right
what
here.
you're referencing in comedy is what's called an ad hominem attack, which means going after the individual. And I think we're just having a semantic argument here. When I hear the word meme, and the left can't meme, what I'm hearing from a millennial standpoint, and a person that's done hours and hours and hours of stand-up comedy and sketch comedy, improv comedy and film comedy, is to me meme in layman's terms. Yes, it does mean a short video with a humorous bent. Yes, it does mean a meme GIF or
it's an inside joke for everyone. That's all it is.
An inside joke for everyone. To me, when it says the left can't meme, it means the left doesn't have a sense of humor right now. And see, what's funny is when I grew up, all of the comedians that were pushing the envelope, okay, and we're really finding where that line is and then maybe just barely crossing it, okay, the ones that were really avant-garde were all on the left. And it was the right that was sitting there clutching their pearls saying, oh my gosh, I can't believe he said that. That's so inappropriate. That was the right. But now that's totally switched. Now it's the left that's sitting there clutching their pearls, and the people that have a sense of humor about things, in my opinion, is the right. So I totally maintain that Andrew Yang's meme game is good because he's actually able to court people that have a sense of humor about politics, which generally forebodes much more bipartisan governments if he were going to become president. So I really think it is valid to say the left can't meme because right now the left has the least amount of humor.
Okay, but if I were to point, and I don't want to go take too much time on this meme lore debate, but
okay,
dude, I would say the closest thing to a meme on television is Family Guy.
Yeah, okay, that's
people
fair.
love it. They think it's funny. And Seth MacFarlane's like a big time Democrat left. I don't want to say leftist, but you would call him on the left.
But he's constantly in trouble with the SJWs, and the only reason why he's not permanently in trouble is because he's a registered Democrat.
Anyway, moving on to the end here.
Okay.
Before we get into more debates about semantics.
Okay.
One thing I just wanted to bring up, I was talking to you guys about early. Anyone who wonders where the origin of the pink hat is, this was the original pink hat. That's why the hat looks weird like that, because it is a painter's hat that has the elastic band on the back. So that would be interesting for any of you guys who see the hat, wonder where it came from. Like I said, a user on Twitter just swapped out the Miami Heat logo for the Yang logo. And that actually brings me to my next point. I would love to give credit to every single person who made all these great memes we showed in this video. I never know if it's the real one or not. So please reach out to us on Twitter at PSPRadio1 if you made that and you want credit, or you know who made it, you want to make sure they get credit. Please let us know. We'll do a big tweet thread shouting out everyone, just compiling this stuff together. Because I do feel bad. I want to make sure the people who do the work and they make this stuff. And I mean, like I said, man, they're really the foot soldiers on the ground in this so-called meme war for Andrew Yang. I want to make sure they get the credit they deserve. Man, that was the last bit. I just want to kind of shout out to exactly where the origin of the mythical pink hat, because I see you guys in the comments and I see you guys talking about the pink hats. That's where they came from. And please let us know if there's anyone that deserves, well, everyone deserves, but if you know who to give credit to, please let us know. We'd love to put them in the comments, the description, and shout them out on Twitter. Anything for you?
Now, just remember, please go to problemsolverpolitics.com and donate if you guys like our videos to help us make more good content for you. Also, like, share, and subscribe this video. That's how the algorithms recognize that we're making good content. And you want to say one more thing, Cody?
Oh, yeah. Again, please let us know if we're misrepresenting the meme game of any other supporter base out there. Please let us know on Twitter, PSPRadio1. Let us know in the comments. Let's see what's got. Let's take a look at some of these earliest battlegrounds of the 2020 meme war, so to speak. Because, as we said, man, it's going to decide the election more than it should. Or it's going to help someone more than it probably should.
Awesome. This is Problem Solver Politics. See you guys in the next video.